What's going on, guys? Welcome to my classroom. Now, in today's video, we're going to be focusing on tasks 1 and 2. So we're going to be concentrating on the independent speaking section of the Toefl speaking section. Now, for this question, you're going to be given 15 seconds of preparation time, and then you're going to be asked to talk for 45 seconds. Now, this video is pretty special because I'm going to be giving you guys a universal response for all task 1 questions that want you to talk about a famous person, okay? Now, these questions are problematic for most people, not just students, but for most people, because we usually like many celebrities. So just choosing one person and then to talk about why you like that person for 45 seconds is pretty hard. So this question is kind of ruthless, and that's exactly why I wanted to make this video. Okay, now the question is, if you could meet any celebrity for 1 hour, who would you meet? Now, as soon as this question pops up on your computer monitor, you should be reading it very quickly as the narrator is reading it out loud, plus the directions, okay? Because you should already know how to respond to this question. Now, as soon as I finished reading this question, I already have my beginning sentence organized. Now, the beginning sentence for this response is going to be, out of all the celebrities in the world, I can say with the utmost confidence that I would like to meet Matt Damon for 1 hour. Okay, so our opinion is Matt Damon. This is the celebrity that we want to meet for 1 hour if we had a choice. He's a blockbuster Hollywood movie star. He makes a lot of money, obviously. He's very famous and he has a lot of fans. So we're going to pick Matt Damon. Now, for the first reason, the subject is going to be Matt Damon, okay? We're not going to say this celebrity because that's going to be awkward. So the subject for both reasons are going to be Matt Damon, okay? Now, for the first reason's adjective, I'm going to use talented. Okay, so the first reason is organized. Matt Damon is extremely talented. That's why I want to meet him. That's why I admire him. Now, for the second reason, I'm going to say Matt Damon is also, so here's the adjective, compassionate. So Matt Damon is a person who has a lot of compassion, who is able to empathize with those who are in need. So Matt Damon likes to help those who are in need. He likes to do community service. Okay, now that we have our 2 reasons and beginning sentence organized, we are in good shape. We are in really good shape. Hopefully in the real test, you still have about 10, 11, or 12 seconds to play with. Now, I'm going to just show you what my detailed sentences are going to be in my sample response. But as I've said in my previous videos, the way to master independent speaking questions is to, number 1, as soon as you finish reading the question, if you understand it, number 1, to organize the beginning sentence as quickly as possible. And then number 2 would be to come up with your first and second reason sentences as quickly as possible too. Because if that's the case, hopefully you're done thinking about those 3 different parts as soon as the narrator is done reading the question and the directions out loud. If that's the case, you're going to be in the best situation possible. Okay, now let's listen to my sample response. Out of all the celebrities in the world, I can say with the utmost confidence that I would like to meet Matt Damon for 1 hour. First of all, thanks to the experiences I've had, I realized that Matt Damon is extremely talented. I believe this to be true mainly due to the fact that he directed a movie, won an Oscar, and even attended Harvard University. On top of this, Matt Damon is also a very compassionate person. In my perspective, this remains true to me since he always donates a large portion of his earnings every year to help those in need. Therefore, I would like to meet Matt Damon for 1 hour if I had a choice for these 2 reasons. Thank you for your time and consideration. Okay, now for task 1 and task 2 questions, don't forget that you need to look at the clock, you need to look at the time when you're done saying the second detail, okay? I had about 10 seconds left for this sample response, so I said the ending statement for these 2 reasons, and even thank you for your time and consideration. So don't worry if you have about 10, 11, or even 12 seconds left. That's not a problem whatsoever. Having, how do I phrase this? Okay, so for independent speaking questions, having 10 seconds left is the ideal amount of time, okay? That way you don't have to panic. You look at the clock and you see double digits, so you're feeling good about yourself, so that you can wrap things up without feeling too rushed, okay? So that's the ideal amount of time that you want to leave when you're done saying the second detail for task 1 and task 2 speaking questions, okay? Now, other ideal amount of time are going to be covered in future videos, okay? I'm gonna make sure that I emphasize this on future videos, but 10 seconds for task 1 and task 2. All right, so that just about finishes task 1. From now on, if any question has the word celebrity, entertainer, famous figure, or achieved individual, any of those words, you're gonna stick with Matt Damon, okay? All right, now let's move on to task 2. All right, here's the task 2 question. Is it better to buy items in person or purchase them online? Now the same rule applies, guys. As soon as you're done reading the question with your eyes and as soon as you understand what it's talking about, you should have your beginning sentence and your first and second reasons organized, okay? Or you should be starting to organize them as quickly as possible. Now for this question, I want you guys to highlight these parts. Okay, so that's pretty much the entire question, but I'm telling you to highlight these parts because all you need to do for the beginning sentence is add an ing next to the verbs. Okay, so buy it, purchase, and then to change the or to and. Okay, that's all you have to do for the beginning sentence, and that's why I wanted you to highlight it. Okay, so here's my beginning statement plus opinion. If I really have to make a choice between buying items in person and purchasing them online, I would honestly prefer the latter. Okay, so I am choosing online. That's my opinion, okay? All right, now for the first reason, we're going to do the same thing as we've always done. The first reason's adjective is beneficial, and the second reason's adjective is going to be detrimental. So our first reason's sentence is purchasing goods in person is beneficial. So we're using synonyms. Purchasing goods in person is beneficial. Now for the second reason, let's try to use synonyms once again. Buying products online can be detrimental. So that's our second reason. Okay, so now that we have our beginning sentence and the two reason statements organized, let's jump into my sample response in which I'm going to be showing you how to organize the two details. Okay, but before that, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Another fixed phrase for task 2 is doing so enables so-and-so to do something. So this is the fixed phrase that I want you guys to use for every first detail, okay, when it comes to task 2 speaking questions. Okay, now here's my sample response. If I really have to make a choice between buying items in person and purchasing them online, I would honestly prefer the latter. To begin with, the first thing that came to my mind as I read this question is that purchasing goods in person is very beneficial. This is mainly due to the fact that doing so enables people to touch and try out the products before making a purchase. In addition, another reason that supports my opinion is that buying products online can be detrimental. This notion makes perfect sense to me since delivery is very expensive these days and also creates a lot of unnecessary issues. As a result, I think it is better to buy items in person for these two reasons. All right, so that was my sample response. And for this question, I had about 6 or 5 seconds left after I was done saying the second detail. So I only had to say for these two reasons and didn't need to use thank you for your time and consideration. All right, so from now on, guys, since we came up with this response for this question, I want you guys to always prefer doing things online, okay? I've seen a lot of questions like this as I was using many different TOEFL speaking books while teaching students. And every single time, students forget. But from now on, I want all of you guys to remember that when it comes to picking between buying something at a store or buying something through online websites, I want you guys to pick online, okay? Since we already have a response for that question. Okay, that just about wraps up today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. There aren't many comments as of yet, but I'm waiting till the day that I have a lot of comments, a lot of opportunities to interact and socialize with you guys. So I'm waiting. I'm just waiting. I'm being patient. I'm not pushy. I'm not being pushy or anything. I'm just waiting, buying my time. But anyways, yeah, that's today's video. Hopefully you thought that the task 1 universal response and task 2 somewhat universal response will come in handy in the near future for you guys, or even in the distant future, because as I said, the TOEFL score, the report card that you get, expires, so you're gonna have to take it again eventually if whatever company that you're applying for requires it. All right, I will see you guys next time in tomorrow's video, which is going to be focusing on task 3. Have a wonderful day.